Hello friends, this is Martin from CGH, the channel for learning about trading and investing. Welcome to Markets Tomorrow, the daily market analysis show. We will look at what happened in the markets during the day and how we can plan for the next day, right? For a better trade, right? So we had a bull rally today, right? The bulls have taken over and the markets rallied like anything. Let's get into the specifics and see what exactly happened. So as usual, the pre-market analysis will be based on all these parameters that you see, and this is for April 5th. Tuesday 2022. We'll also have some wrap-ups and we'll take a market view and then we'll have some actionables as well. So let's not waste time and then begin. Look at the candle. It's clear, open is low, bullish pattern that is with a gap up, right? It's a pro gap that's happening since last 2 days. The candle size itself shows how bullish the market is. Look at BANKNIFTY candle sizes, wide range bullish candles with a gap up, right? And Nifty, it's wide range bullish candles with the gap up, and also it's a open is low, which makes it even more bullish. So that makes it 15% of up move from the bottom in Nifty and nearly 20% and more up move from the bottom. So now the only hurdle is near this swing high, which has to be taken out. That gives a confirmation that the market is going to make another all-time high. Similarly, this 18,400, this swing high has to be taken out before we get a confirmation. Until then, we have we still have a possibility that it can make another lower swing high and then it can fall back, right? But it's clearly big mega move is what has happened. What you can see. Let's see some numbers. Like, so 383 points gain to nearly 2.15%, 17% of gain has happened today. It's a wide range bullish candle. It has cleared all the moving averages and Fibonacci 61 retracement of the last sliding lows. The last swing also is cleared. So price is broken out from the trendline channel, and it's a flag breakout. Also, you can see this. It's a flag pattern that is formed here, and it is broken out. There is a trendline channel that is down moving, that is also taken out. Similarly on the BANKNIFTY also, it's a trendline channel that is broken out clearly. Fibonacci 61 is cleared. All the moving average confluence, which was acting with heavy resistance until yesterday or day before yesterday, is cleared now. With this big gap between these two candles is going to be a major support if at all it's retracing back, right? So it's a flag breakout, clear and clear bullishness. Nothing else to say. It's pretty clear from the last 3 days of up move that it's clear bullishness, nothing else, right? Intraday price action, if you see, look at this, right? It gapped up and then gained another good percentage of up move, then retrace a little bit and then we did a V-shaped recovery to come back to where it was gained. Same pattern has happened in the BANKNIFTY on the right side. You can see it gapped up and then made a big up move, then retraced profit booking, and then did the V-shaped move. So there was a V-shape today as well, even though it was heavily bullish, right? So that's intraday price action. Bollinger Bands is saying the upper band is expanding, which is clearly saying that the walking on the bands is happening right now. The price has started moving on the upper band, upper bands. Started walking on the upper band means it's even more bullish. Look at the distance that it's far away from the median on both the indices, right? So both the indices are showing Bollinger Bands are indicating very, you can say big bullishness with high volatility, because volatility is also could be high. If it is falling also, it will be high in this, as long as there is no skews that has happened. That skews is not there. So high volatile upward bias move is what Bollinger Bands is talking about. Look at the support resistances, right? All the resistances have become history now, right? Now the resistance is at 18,100, right above that. You have 18,200, 18,350, 18,400 is a major swing high, which is to be noted, and after that you go to the 18,400 all-time high levels, right? Similarly, the downside support 18,000 is going to be a good support. Because it is close to above that 50 points. So if that's given up, then it'll come back to 17,850, 800 that levels, right? That's given up, then it'll come back to the 17,500, 17,600, Fibonacci 23. So in between you have a gap that has formed, and that that gap is between the last 2 days candles. That's going to be a big support. So 17,800, 850, that zone is going to be a super support for the Nifty. Okay? Downside, if In case 17,500, 600, that Fibonacci retracement level is gone, then you have 72, 354, so 7,400, then 7,200, 7,300, then 70,000 levels, right? Which is having a very good another gap support. So two gap supports in the Nifty, so it's super bullish with plenty of supports on the downside, right? You've seen that all the moving average 20, 50, 100, and 200 is taken. And now when Nifty Bank, look at this, 37, 500, 730. Everything, like, the gap was cleared just in a matter of a day. 200 DMA was cleared in a day, right? So now that will become as a support. There was the gap that is cleared now will act as a good support on downside retracement level. So immediate supports is at 38,500 levels, which is very crucial to clear, right? Because it is Fibonacci 61 retracement level also that is also cleared. And below that you have 38,000, then you have 37,700, 37,800, then 37,500 Fibonacci 23, then 36,900, 37,000 level, which is a gap that will act as support. So a lot of plenty of beautiful supports outside. Resistance support would be now 39,100, 38,900 to 39,100. 39,000 level is going to be the major resistance upside. Then 39,500 will be next, and then 40,000 would be the next. So the resistance on the upside and supports we already seen. So that's Bank Nifty support resistance levels, right? Momentum has turned to bullishness in the short term on both the indices, and it remains in the sideways. It is rising up and then very close to crossing into the bull zones in the case of medium term. So short term is daily, medium term is weekly, right? So its overall momentum is bullish, right? With weekly catching up with that by the end of the week. That probably tomorrow itself, the weekly charts. By the end of this week, clearly we'll have an indication whether weekly also momentum is getting the bullish zone. So momentum is catching up. Trend is rising in the short term. It is clear bullishness that you can see. Rising strength. DMA positive on both indices. And medium term also has no trend, change in the bullish zone. So that's a big thing, right? But it's having big strength because the crossover happened just now. So trend has changed to bullish zones on both time frames is a good thing. Momentum has changed already in the short term. Weekly also just about to clear the momentum to the bullish zone. So volatility cooled off a little more, 2.5% and 17.9, right? IV is 18 levels. Implied volatility of Nifty. Implied volatility percentage cooled off from 98, 99 2 weeks back, right? Now it is 68.27. So big cool off. Momentum below 20 is good. No, all things have the fear and greed has reduced, but only thing you have to be cautious if it spikes back or mean towards 20 plus again, right? Openness data is showing that unwinding of the calls, right? That means people are writing more puts, and then overall the charts showing bullishness. The Bank Nifty also, you can see the unwinding. 17,500 and 18,000 has now become the highest support and highest put writing area and highest call writing area respectively for the Nifty. After that, 17,000 and 18,000 is also the next level of support and resistance areas. Put call ratio is clearly saying Nifty is 1.27 is bullish, right? And Nifty is Bank Nifty is 36,000 and 39,000. That's the range for the highest puts and calls there. Second highest is 38,000 and 40,000. So that's the range where the market expects. But it's only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 more days are there for the expiry. A lot of things can change. But PCR is 1.5 is clear bullishness. Anything above 1 is clear bullishness. So PCR is bullishness. Overall charts are bullishness. Range is all moved up. All unwinding has happened. But futures open into set, short covering is is what it was showing the last day. I think I have not updated that. Let's quickly go and see what is that. So this is short covering still happening on the Bank Nifty, on the Nifty, and it's short covering on the Bank Nifty also. So clearly short covering continues to happen. I just had it out because it's long build up of short covering. So right. So short covering, people got short. Now things to thinking back to go long. As per the OIM, it's on the options, on the futures. That's what it is. The build up is short covering, so it's bullish. It's unexpected stuff. So open interest overall put call ratio graphs, futures OI all are indicating bullishness. Look at this, all green around, and it's HDFC Twins that did the job today, right? Even Kodak Bands and Tata Steel and a lot of other stocks all green. IT is not doing well. Nifty, Infi also is showing the only green and only red area. But across the sectors, if you see, all sectors perform green, right? All the sectors perform, right? Now index heavyweights, if you see HDFC Bank, you just look at the candle where it has suddenly gone in, right? It has taken out all the resistance in one single day, boom. But there was a lot of profit booking that happened, so a pullback happened, but look at the candle move, mega move. So what happened in the HDFC Twins. Right, we'll get to know the news behind this happening in coming days. But like all the correction that happened over the several months together on this HDFC Twins is now taken out just in a matter of one day when the Fyers are turned bias, right? Lens, look at this breakout today, also green, right? So it's breaking out and continue to do that up and handle. And Infosys did not do well. IT in general did not do well, consolidating because it's very close to the all-time high level. So it would have to have some resistance, but momentum is bullish in Reliance and Infosys also, and momentum is bullish in HDFC Tools also. Now, all of a sudden, one single day, all the momentums. TCS is also rising up, green close, but momentum is on the edge. Some consolidations having slow momentum. Right? It is said to climb in the bull zones. ICICI Bank, green close. That seems like the resistance that it was there is taken out, and it can move further up. Right? Momentum has climbed almost just into the bullish zones. Right? Kodak Bank, green close, good bounce from the support zones, right? Momentum is still sideways but rising up towards the bull zones, right? So Kodak Bank had performed very good today. Look at the candle size, it's clearly bullishness, right? That's how the index heavyweights performed today. Sectoral performance, if you see, it was flat for IT, and but it moved up, all sectors. So all sectors, IT, metal, pharma, FMCG, all moved up, right? 0.30% IT, metal 2% up, auto 1.2% up, pharma 1.5%, FMCG 1.3%, reality closed flat slightly 0.34. But right, the thing is IT is still sideways and auto is also sideways, except that all other sectors, metal, pharma, FMCG, reality, all in the short term have turned bullish, but only metal has turned bullish on the medium term. Right, on the weekly charts, only metal is bullish, weekly and daily is bullish. So that is where we can confidently enter. But other sectors, weekly may still to catch up, but bullishness is there in the short term. So you can take tight stop loss and still venture into long trades, right? In pharma, FMCG, reality, and right, all these sectors where it has turned short term bullish, right? That's a sectoral performance, right? So institutional participation is interesting now. Net buyers is what FIS are there now, right? DA is also about 1,675 crores today and 1,152 crores. So that's good buying, steady buying that's happening for the first time after a long time. FIS are turned bias, right? Which is very positive. Reason for the bullishness that, right? So some cool off in the rupee, right? So rupee has strengthened today. It has fallen down and then settled very close to 75.5 levels. Momentum has slipped to the sideways, remains there. So that's a good thing. Dollar is kind of rising up, only dollar index if you see, but it is at quite far away from the 99.6 levels, right? Momentum is still in the sideways, right? Global indices, if you see, Dow Jones seems like it's consolidating after a big bounce up that happened. Momentum has slipped in the sideways. Some consolidation can be seen in the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 also, right? So it's not ready to fall. It has done a very good bounce up from the support zones and recovered, and then now it is little hesitant. It's indecisive previous week. If you see, it was dodgy candle. So last few days it is kind of indecisive, and then it's kind of consolidating, and it was a red candle on all the major global US market indices primarily. So you have to keep a close watch on if if once again falling back or not, right? That's all. But seems like that bounce is very decisive, and then it's likely to go up, but it may be a small consolidation before that is what we'll have to see, right? Crude oil is green close, but overall it has cooled off good percentage, and once again it has climbed back to 102 above 100 today. It had cooled off below 100 last week, but which is bad. But momentum is sideways. At least that big all-time high making is stopped for now. World is consolidating at this, at the supports level from where it did a failed breakout and then fall back into. So that's having a sideways momentum. So it's long. It's very slow momentum before it can spike back to take the all-time high. So let's go into actionables in TPC and Axis Bank. Axis Bank's and weekly chart is what is shown, but traders putting on a daily chart, and it has been taken only if there is a clear green candle close above this neckline. Suppose this is a weekly chart, but daily you'll have to see where that neckline is. cleared, only then you can get even enter. That may happen coming in 1 day or 2 day, 3 day, you never know, right? So probably it may spend some time here, breakout, but entry should not be taken right away, right? Entry has to be taken only if this neckline is broken, and then it will be big mega move. So sometimes it may retrace back also. It's basically a positional trade. So stop loss, you may get stop loss, it's okay, but put tight stop losses. But you can re-enter again and then climb, because a ride, when it comes, it may be big ride, because inverted head and shoulder pattern on weeklies works well most of the time, right? But it's not ready for an entry right away tomorrow. You never know when that breakout happens. Wait for that and then enter and then put tight stops on the neckline. In TPC also, it's long way up to the channel top, so it is kind of moving up with the good volumes, with momentum and trend. Right? All power sectors are doing good, so NTPC is just started the upside, right? So it may give a good reward. If there is for a swing or a personal trade, short personal, right? So that's two action rules, NTPC and the Axis Bank, right? Wrap up is nothing much to talk. It's clear, bullish view, moderate. Even though big mega two candles are there, so there may be some cool off tomorrow, right? Even though the view is moderate bullish, there may be some kind of retracement or a cool off that can happen, because the candle sizes of the last 2 days are wide range, and normally after such big moves are made, there will be some retracement that will happen. So expect that, but view remains that it's bullish. View is what the what the price tells and what the indicators tell about the momentum trend, bullish bands and all that. So that clearly says it's moderate bullishness, right? So market has shown some 15 to 20% of recovery. Right? Last 3 weeks, just 3 weeks, 20 to 15-20% of recovery has happened, and just taken out all the moving average resistance of 200, 150, all of those, and then cleared all the major resistance. BANKNIFTY also has joined the party, and then it's even more bullish than the Nifty, right? Looks like, right? Looking at today's and yesterday's move. So Fyers has now turned, that's a big thing. They have turned into buying mode, and then the only concern would be the rising crude, the dollar, and the global bar news. That's still not sure if it is fully cooled down or not. So we were waiting for the 17,500 and 37,500 that has happened now. Now the swing high of 18,300 and then 39,500, that level now. So the previous swing highs that we talked about, that too has to be taken out. But otherwise it is the bullishness started, right? And so although you may see some pullback the next days, but market is turned bullish, clearly confirmed. There's no doubt about it. There's no question about that, right? And the only thing that has been questioned is volatility has slipped, but it's very close to 20. It slipped down below 20. It's fine. It's very good. Fear and greed has the fear in the market is gone a little bit, but it can come back anything as long as there is no bad news that is still floating around with respect to the war and all that, right? So I will be slightly cautious. The positive factor is that it's not 12%, actually 15%. Today's move of 3%, so 15% of recovery has happened. So that's the biggest positive factor, right? After such a, in the mid of a bar, of an ongoing bar, our markets corrected only 15% and then recovered nicely within a matter of 3 weeks. That's the positive factor, right? But as long as there is uncertainty, that is you have to be a little cautious, right? So it's a cool off, so it's easy to trade on options and derivatives and all that, as compared to when the level is more than 20, right? So option trades and all, if you're taking, then always hedge your positions. Risk to interest strategies are must if you're carrying forward overnight positions, right? And tight stop loss intraday. Intraday today also we had such a big bullish day, but we had a V-shaped move. V-shaped moves takes away all the gains in a matter of seconds, right? So you have to be cautious on putting tight stop losses and monitoring the intraday lower time frame chart patterns and candlesticks and all properly to understand how to trade reversals, and how to get out of that trail your stop loss and all the things, right? So the wrap up is it's moderate bullish in the short term for tomorrow, right? But there could be some pullback after a big, such big 2 days of moves that has happened. So cautious about that, right? So the momentum trend, volatility, price patterns, all are saying that it's bullish. So that should be the view, and you should take a trade and positions accordingly. I hope this gives you some assistance in forming your own trade plan for the next day and your own market view, right? If that helps you in some way, consider sharing, hitting the like button, sharing to friends, colleagues. We need more subscriptions. We have very few to keep us motivated. So please share, subscribe, and hit the like button and comment and share it to maximum people. Thanks for watching. Happy trading, happy learning. Bye.